From the New York Post, Natalie Sanandaji, a 28-year-old New York resident, is a survivor of the Hamas music festival attack and says that she felt safer in Israel more than she does in America due to the increase of anti Semitic attacks and the increased amount of protest. Natalie says that this is the first time in her life that she has received hate for her faith. She also stated that some friends of hers have removed their mezuzahs from their home and are hiding their Jewish identities. And also from the Times of Israel, fear in Berlin as Star of David scrawled on the entrances of buildings where Jewish people reside. And so in Berlin and other parts of Europe, wherever people know that Jewish people live, they're writing Stars of David. And the mezuzahs are these things that I guess Jewish people traditionally put in their front doors, and now they're removing them. So I can't really fall in line entirely with what this woman says, because she goes on to she wants to give a message to all the young people in colleges and tell them that this is not a fight between um, Israel and Palestine and or Gaza, but the way that a lot of liberals and leftists are handling the Israel and Palestine conflict is the same way that a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of Democrats are handling the migrant crisis. Is that they'll talk about the problem, they'll talk about the problem, they'll complain about the problem, but they won't directly call out the people causing the problem. So it isn't a fight between Israel and Gaza, because they voted for Hamas to run the government. The same thing with how Democrats are handling the migrant situation. It is the Democratic leaders causing the problem, and they'll talk about it, they'll complain about it, they'll cry about it, but they won't call out the leaders that are actually doing it. So it's hard for me to fall in line exactly with what this girl is saying, uh, because I mean, you want to bitch about it, but you don't want to say AOC's name. You don't want to say Rashida Tlaib's name. And these are women that are very well known. A lot of people that don't really follow politics even know who they are. She doesn't call out Ilhan Omar. They're the ones that are verbally supporting Hamas. I went to a pro-Palestinian protest just to get a feel for what they're saying and what they're doing. And let's see, what can I say? Some of it, the rage is real, but I think most of it's fake outrage. Just like cancellations, I guess. Just like a lot of the complaints during the Me Too movement that all of a sudden died whenever somebody accused Biden of, harassing a woman. I thought most of it was fake. Some of it was real people that really believed in freeing Palestine and helping Gaza. That was about 30 or 40% of the people that were there, which is a huge chunk. But a lot of it was just people that were walking by, trying to sound supportive and, you know, saying what they always say, from the river to the sea, whatever. And another huge chunk was people that were just literally showing up, taking a picture to show everybody that they were there. And some of them was just girls that they will show up and they'll put on a hijab and be a part of the protest. So a lot of it seemed fake to me. A lot of it did not seem real at all. It just seemed most of it just seemed like virtue signaling. People trying to, follow the crowd, say the right thing. And the more that this goes on, the more I'm starting to think that it's either we're either gonna forget about it in another week or two, or you know everything's just gonna, these idiots that just want to say the right things and be nice and say the politically correct stuff, they're all just gonna drag us down to hell with them. So yeah, that's what I think is gonna end up happening. It's gonna be one of two extremes. We're just gonna forget about it and move on, or they're just gonna drag us all down with them. That's where I think this is gonna go. I think people are just gonna eventually forget about it though, because a lot of it seems fake. A lot of it doesn't seem real. And if you talk to normal people, nobody really cares. They don't care for either side, Israel or Palestine. Most Americans just want to stay out of it, from what I've seen. And I also went to a migrant center, and that bothered me a lot more than the protest, honestly. Uh, People were just it's basically just a homeless shelter, but for illegal immigrants. That's basically it. They stay outside of the migrant center during a certain amount of time. They're all wearing gray sweats, with a gray sweater. They give them food, they give them water, they give them a place to sleep. They go wherever they want, basically. While I was there, there was there was probably about, in this one migrant center, there was probably about 250 to 350 people in that one place. And people were just driving by, picking them up, dropping them off. They were they were shopping in the places, in the stores that were there. You know, some of them were just throwing trash on the ground. They were smoking and drinking outside. They were giving haircuts outside. It's basically just a homeless shelter, and you're paying for it, mind you. It some of them leave, and I never saw them again. I was like, dude, nobody is in control of this, and they don't let just anybody in. Because I went, I went just to try to get some information, and some of them are getting money. They're all getting food, water, and a place to sleep. They're getting clothes, and I asked. There's a security guard that's meant to only let in people that are certified to be there, besides the migrants. And I asked them, "Can I volunteer?" Then I looked at the list to volunteer. They do more of a background check for the people that want to volunteer for free than for the people that are actually there, which was insane. I was like, what the hell? They really want to know all this information about me just to volunteer? And meanwhile, they probably don't know anything about the people that they are taking care of or housing. I don't know. It seemed, in a way, it also seemed like a bit of a prison. And I hate to call it that, but that's what it really seemed like. Because I driven by that street a couple of times. It's in an area that I don't live in, so I don't really go in that direction because it's kind of busy. And I think they put it there on purpose, because I remember when I first saw that building, I thought it was just a building under construction, because they have these 6 to 8 foot fences, and it's on a busy street, on a very busy street. So when you're on a very busy street, all you're doing is really just focusing on the driving, so you don't swerve into a different lane, or so you don't get hit, or so you don't run a red light. So I think it's on purpose. And they put it on a busy street, so you're not really paying attention to the stores around you or to the buildings around you. And if you drive by it, it just looks like a building under construction, because it has high fences, and all along the fences, they're covered in black tarp, so you can't see what's inside. They don't want you to see what's inside, because inside is 200, 300, 400 migrants that you're paying to take care of. And once I actually went in there, the only reason why I even went in there was because I was interested in seeing them, to be honest. So I did Google it, but I never really drove by it until my brother-in-law told me about it. And then when I saw it, you kind of you gotta drive slow to see it. If not, you won't see it. So I went into the stores and I saw them. I was like, whoa, there is a lot of them. A lot of them. It's mostly dudes. It's mostly dudes. I would say it's about 65% to 70% dudes. And then the rest, it's divided amongst women and children. And yeah, that's what I saw. And, I was just kind of shocked at how there's not really any control. They're not really keeping track of the migrants that are staying and going, the ones coming in and out. I mean, it's like I said, it's just a homeless shelter. That's really what it is. But the problem is that there's a lot of homeless already here where I live, and nobody's dude. They're not getting anywhere near the amount of care that these people are getting. But anyways, that's just what I saw over the weekend. Uh, yeah. Anyways, that's just what I saw over the weekend. And that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later.